Historic royal secrets. What palace sources say about William and Kate's relationship struggles. Historic secrets. The palace lights glow softly at night. The world sees calm, unity, tradition. But history says the strongest royal marriages are rarely the quietest. And what looks like strain may actually be a private battle to protect love. For decades, Prince William and Catherine, Princess of Wales, have been presented as the steady future of the monarchy. A relationship built on friendship, patience, and shared values. From university beginnings to global admiration, their story feels familiar and reassuring. Yet palace sources, speaking quietly and cautiously, suggest that behind this stability lies a relationship shaped by pressures few couples could survive unchanged. The earliest years were filled with optimism. William was determined not to repeat the emotional chaos of his childhood. Kate was determined to understand the world she was marrying into before fully stepping inside it. Their long courtship was not hesitation. It was preparation. Friends say they talked deeply about duty, boundaries, and what a royal marriage would demand long before vows were exchanged. But preparation does not eliminate strain. It only delays its arrival. Once married, their private world became a strategic operation. Every appearance mattered. Every absence was noticed. Every expression was analyzed. Palace sources say this constant observation slowly changed how they communicated with each other. Not because trust faded, but because spontaneity became risky. Emotional moments had to be carefully timed. Disagreements had to be postponed. Vulnerability had to wait for silence. William's role evolved rapidly. With each passing year, the crown felt closer. That closeness brought responsibility, but also fear. Fear of failure. Fear of repeating history. Fear of letting personal emotion interfere with duty. Insiders describe William as deeply protective, sometimes to the point of emotional withdrawal when pressure peaks. His instinct is to carry burdens alone. Kate's instinct is different. She processes outwardly, thoughtfully, emotionally. Palace sources suggest this difference became one of the first quiet challenges in their marriage. Not conflict rooted in anger, but in timing. One needing space, the other needing reassurance. Neither wrong, both struggling to meet in the middle. Motherhood intensified everything. Kate's bond with her children became her emotional anchor. Sources say she fought hard to keep their upbringing grounded, resisting some traditional royal expectations. William supported her, but not without internal conflict. He understands the institution intimately. He knows how quickly deviation can invite criticism. That tension, insiders say, occasionally spilled into private conversations that were honest, intense, and unresolved for days at a time. There were periods when palace staff noticed subtle shifts. Fewer shared moments off camera. More structured interactions. Not coldness, but formality. Observers interpreted this as distance. Sources inside suggest it was recalibration. A couple learning how to renegotiate closeness when the world kept intruding. Historical comparisons added another layer. William is constantly measured against his father and grandmother. Kate is endlessly compared to Diana. These comparisons are never spoken aloud, but insiders say they are felt. Quietly, persistently, they shape expectations and create unspoken pressure to succeed where others struggled. One palace source described a moment during a particularly demanding royal season when Kate questioned how much of herself she could continue to give without losing her emotional center. Not a threat, not a crisis, a question. That question, insiders say, led to some of the most important conversations of their marriage. Conversations about identity, about limits, about whether love can survive when it is never allowed to be ordinary. William, according to those close to him, does not respond quickly to emotional confrontation. He reflects. He retreats. He returns with intention. This rhythm, while thoughtful, can feel distant in the moment. Kate has reportedly learned to wait. William has reportedly learned to come back sooner. What fascinates palace observers is not that these struggles exist, but how quietly they are handled. There are no explosive scenes. No dramatic ultimatums. Instead, there are pauses. Adjustments. Long walks. Silent agreements. Small gestures that repair what words cannot. The children remain the center of gravity. Insiders say any tension dissolves when family routines resume. School mornings. Bedtime rituals. Weekend normalcy. These moments remind them why the effort matters. As William's future role becomes unavoidable, new pressures emerge. Leadership requires distance. Kings cannot appear uncertain. Husbands, however, must remain emotionally present. Sources suggest this duality is one of the hardest balances William faces. Kate understands this. She also feels its cost. There are times, insiders say, when Kate steps back intentionally. Not from William, but from the role. Fewer appearances. A quieter presence. This is not retreat. It is preservation. William, sources say, has come to respect this more deeply with time. What the public often interprets as struggle may actually be negotiation. A marriage constantly redefining itself under historical weight. Not cracking, but bending. The greatest secret palace sources share is this. William and Kate do not believe in perfect love. They believe in conscious love. Chosen repeatedly, adjusted when necessary, protected fiercely. Their relationship is not fragile. It is heavily burdened. And the burden is not each other. It is the crown waiting patiently in the background. History remembers royal marriages as successes or failures. What history rarely records is the quiet work in between. The conversations that never leave palace walls. The compromises no one applauds. The strength it takes to stay human while becoming symbolic. If there are struggles, they are not signs of collapse. They are evidence of reality. Two people growing while carrying an institution larger than themselves. And perhaps the most historic truth of all is this. The survival of their relationship may not depend on avoiding conflict, but on continuing to face it privately, honestly, and together while the world keeps watching in silence.